Hello, quilters. I'm Erica Bodker, AccuQuilt's creativity expert.
And I'm Pam Heller, AccuQuilt's cutting expert. We're you two aces, and we're here to show you how to make our Go Counting at the Zoo throw quilt that features the Go Classic 2-inch numbers and symbols die.
That's right. We've got this fun, colorful project hanging right behind us, and it's really such an enjoyable project to make. So let's get started by taking a look at the dies that we're going to be using, starting with that Go Classic 2-inch numbers and symbols die.
So this works perfect with our 2-inch classic alphabet die.
It does.
And it's great because it has the numbers 1 through 0, so you can make 10 in all the pieces. And it's fun because you can add exclamation point or an ampersand. I love the @ sign.
I do too.
Yep.
So
and the
you're
hashtags.
all ready to do kind of social media like things with these. And of course you could use just the dot as a period for that too.
You totally could. Now this is a great die. It comes on a 10 by 10 die board, but remember it's only going to cut where there's fabric and a mat.
That's right.
So today we're going to show you how to cut just a couple of different numbers and how we're going to use a smaller 6 by 6 mat.
Let's cut some. Okay, so we're going to do the 2 and the 5 this time. So let's.
Now we've already pre-fused our fabric.
That's right.
And we've sub-cut it so it just barely covers that shape.
That's right. And don't forget, these are directional. So you're going to want to place all of your fabric right side up, whether you're making a number or even these signs.
Right.
They're going to be directional as well. Now we could use our 10 by 10 mat on this, or we could use a 5 by 10 because you can go smaller but not bigger with your mat. So let's go ahead and cut those out.
All right, give us some love,
Give
Erica.
a little love, and let's get our numbers out. Here we go.
This would be cute, you know, for babies, how many weeks they are, how many months they are.
That's
you
a
could
great
totally
idea.
change up the numbers. Now to make this project, we've got 2 basic blocks made with the Go Cube Mix and Match 6-inch block and the applique section at the top with our animals, and it's a super fun border.
Right. So let's get started. Now this pattern is a free download. You can find it at AccuQuilt.com, and it has great instructions. I love this project because it has a really great scrappy feel. And you're going to need 6 of each of our 2 kinds of blocks for this project. So we're going to start off with our 9-patch blocks, I think.
Excellent. So for this block, you'll only need shape 1 from the Mix and Match cube.
But for our star block, we're going to be using shape 1 as well as shape 4, which is our quarter square triangle.
Now for this, we're just going to cut a couple of different squares so that you can see that you would need them for your 9-patch.
Absolutely.
And since it is a 9-patch, typically the cube system is a 4-patch, then you're actually going to make a 9-inch block with your 6-inch cube.
Great point. And then you would go ahead and just chain piece your blocks together and lay them out however, whatever scrappy direction you want. Your white is going to be going in the center.
Right.
Because that's where we're going to be going ahead and fusing on a number. So let's go ahead and get those rows sewn together.
Excellent. And I love the scrappiness of this. This is obviously made with batiks, but you could do a child's room colors.
Oh, sure.
All right, I'll let you press there.
All right, looks good. So we're going to go ahead and press these. Then once those seams are going to be pressed, we're going to go ahead and press our number into the middle. Okay, now for this one, we're going to go ahead, press this down now, and just do a little raw edge applique just so inside the edge of it. And you're ready to go. You could just, now I'm going to take it and just sew right inside the edge of that, and it's going to be ready to go and put together in our block. So here we've got 3 stitches. Here's our satin stitch, really nice, tight, great for garments. Here is our decorative stitch, our little motif stitch. It's really cute. And then here's the blanket stitch.
And I would say, Erica, if this was going to hang on a wall, I would probably do like the motif stitch or the blanket stitch.
I would too.
But if you're going to have it in a child's room and they're actually going to use it on their bed, for sure, I would do that satin stitch.
Yep. Now the second block we're going to make is the Ohio Star block. So for this one, we needed those 2 dies. We needed shape 1 again for the squares, for our yellow center, and for the white corners. and then shape 4, the quarter square triangle. So I think we should cut some quarter square triangles, Pam.
All right, so here is our quarter squares, and we can always cut 6 layers. Today we're just going to cut 3.
Now, when you're working with quarter square triangles, you want to go ahead and lay your pieces out.
Yes.
Because it's easy to get confused with where you're sewing on your quarter square triangles. You want to be sure that you're keeping your lengthwise grain to the outside. So it's really easy to get confused and sew like this is this seam.
Right.
So you want to go ahead and lay it out. Let's show them how we're going to go ahead and do that. So there's your first seam. And again, you want to keep track of how you're sewing.
Right, and we've cut off the dog ears, so from this point here to this point here is that great perfect quarter-inch seam.
Exactly. And I'm going to go ahead and press towards the green on both sides.
And when I was making this block, I found it easy to create because, you know, these are the same blocks.
Right.
So all of those blocks together and all of these blocks together.
Exactly.
Just works easier.
So now we can go ahead, we can put this together.
Perfect.
And we had one of these started, so we'll go ahead and have you sew this one together as well. And we're going to be ready to go ahead and put our block together.
Excellent.
So the first row is sewn together. If you can go ahead and sew that quarter-inch unit to the other one.
And Erica, do you want to press this centerpiece?
I do, and we're always, with this block, we're going to press always towards that solid square. And that is going to give us the directions to make sure that those seams are going to be able to nest. And that's an easy way to keep track of it. And it's going to give you your flattest seams too, right, Pam?
It is. I love the Ohio Star block, and it's in every cube.
Every single one. Now, again, just like with the 9 patch, because we are using shape number 1 and 4, we're using our 6-inch cube, but we're creating a 9-inch finished block because we've got a 3x3 grid layout.
There you go.
All right. So now we've got both of our two different blocks all put together. And again, you'd be going ahead and putting our number on it. So we can go ahead and do that too.
Once you have all of your units sewn together, your next step will be to sew together 3 Go Big Square 9.5-inch, which finish to 9-inch, die shapes in a row. Then applique the zoo animals and elephants on, which I think is fun because you could do a variety of them. You could put whatever animals you want.
Right. And of course, we have free downloadable embroidery for those as well, right?
We do. Now, if you don't have an embroidery machine, no worries. You could use like a decorative stitch from your machine or do a straight stitch or raw edge quilting, which is what I do often.
Yes. Now your final step before assembly is to make the fun borders. Those are made using the Go Strip Cutter 3.5-inch, 3-inch finished with 2 strips on it. It's got angled guidelines, and you want to go ahead and subcut the lengths shown in your pattern. Now here's your pro tip. Be sure you cut your 9.5-inch pieces for the horizontal borders separate from the 3.5-inch strips for your vertical borders. That way, everything's going to match up.
Then you're ready to assemble all of the units according to the pattern. Give your top a really good press when you're done. Layer it with batting and backing, pinner based, before quilting as desired.
Finish it off binding with your favorite method, and don't forget to miter those corners. Now we know you're going to love making this project and that you'll come up with so many different ways to use all the dies in this pattern, especially the Go Classic 2-inch numbers and symbols die.
Quilters, be sure and share all of your creations on our social media and tag AccuQuilt so we can all be inspired, because at AccuQuilt we help you cut time.
So you can quilt more.